What is this smell? It's as if the scent of fuel, but fainter, or perhaps mixed with the fragrance of floor polish. Could someone have reconsidered burning the place down, or wanted to cover up their actions? I don't know. I can't bring myself to uncover. Not because there's anything physically stopping me, but out of fear that I might find myself in a place other than my room. With the emergence of that smell, I am certain that something strange has indeed happened, and that the bracelet I'm wearing and this covering that envelopes my entire body are responsible for it. Could that old man be right? Damn. No need to be afraid. I have to remove this covering and face whatever awaits me. What is this place? It's definitely not the room I was in just a few minutes ago. It's almost the same in size, but what's with this strange atmosphere? There's a carpet covering the entire floor where nothing else is visible. It's a wet cotton carpet, soaked with the same strange smell. The walls, all painted in a yellow hue, have no windows except for the door of the room. This explains the oppressive air that pervades the place. The air resembles that of an ancient abandoned cellar that hasn't had a breath of fresh air for thousands of years, only renewed by whatever enters through a needle hole in the wall. Inhale. Exhale. Breathing is difficult. The oxygen level in this place must be extremely low. I must return because once I entered here, my mission is over. All I had to do was enter this place and then leave. I shouldn't think about anything else. I shouldn't involve myself again in things more challenging than my abilities. But why waste this opportunity? I'll quickly glance through that door. There's no harm in that. As soon as I cast a glance through that door, I was surprised by the sight. There's a large corridor with the same design as this room. Silence dominates the place, except for the sound of square lamps in the ceiling, extending every 4 meters. However, I can't see anything at the end of that corridor. There are passages on the sides and additional doors, and this design pattern suggests to me that this place is nothing but a giant maze. Inhale. Exhale. I must retreat immediately. The oxygen level is dangerously low. I'm already feeling dizzy. I checked the band on my wrist and went straight to the covering. I lay down and covered my body with it, as all I had to do was move in specific patterns as the old man instructed. Lie on your back, turn to the right, then on your back, then to the left, then on your back, then turn to the right, then immediately to the left, and finally on your back. That's how you should... What is this? Why am I still here? Why am I not in my room now? Did I make a mistake? But I memorized it by heart. I'll try again. The sound of turning and murmuring. Why? Why am I still here? I'm almost fainting from the low oxygen. I have to think. First, I need to calm down. If I panic, my heart will pump more blood, and that will only hasten my demise. Second, I need to recall the conversation with that despicable old man. I must have overlooked something. I must not close my eyes. I must not...
On a Friday morning at 10 o'clock, 3 days ago, in the city of Guelma, Algeria, Amin strolled through the Friday market. He wasn't there for pleasure or to buy new clothes or anything people usually do in markets. Instead, he walked with a focused purpose, searching for something, or rather, someone. Amin moved among the market stalls where vendors sold strange items, especially in the areas selling scrap and various materials not commonly heard of, like crocodile oil, ostrich feathers, and more. However, he was specifically looking for a particular person who worked in such markets, a trader who traveled from city to city. According to his latest information, this trader would be in his city this Friday, a moment Amin had been eagerly anticipating. The elderly man in his 80s sold herbs, medicines, handcrafted souvenirs, and various natural oils. His appearance was peculiar, with one eye missing, usually covered by the edge of his turban. He had a black beard with a white streak running through it. Of course, he wasn't the type of person who was hard to find. When he arrived somewhere, you couldn't help but notice him. After more than half an hour of wandering inside the market, Amin saw in a distant corner a small tent surrounded by people. He approached, navigating through the crowd until he reached a spot where he could see the speaker, the moment when Amin realized he had found his quarry. He remained standing there, gazing at the old man. He didn't inspect the goods being displayed, nor did he care about the benefits of a particular herb or the healing properties of a specific oil that the old man was extolling. He was solely waiting for the crowd around the tents to disperse so he could talk to the old man. But within a few minutes, the old man approached Amin with slow steps, casting penetrating glances at him while explaining to the people about the red liquid he carried. He came close and whispered in Amin's ear,
"Come to the tent at 12 after the market closes, young man."
Amin stood there, frozen in place, surprised at how the old man had noticed him. He wondered if he knew his intentions. Thinking about taking a step back, Amin left the tent and moved to a spot a little far from the market. What happened moments ago frightened him, and the unsettling feeling that emanated from the old man's whispered words lingered, an ominous sensation radiating negative energy. However, he remembered his struggles and realized that this opportunity might not come again. He couldn't afford to miss meeting this old man once more. It was noon, people started leaving the market, and traders were busy packing their goods. Amin stood up from his spot and made his way toward the tent. As Amin approached, he heard the old man shouting and repeating,
"The dreams, my son. The dreams, my son."
Amin thought that the old man was speaking to someone inside, so he waited for a while. However, the old man continued repeating the same sentence.
"The dreams, my son."
He decided to enter and cast a glance. As soon as he entered, he found the old man standing alone inside the tent. Then he turned toward Amin and said,
"The dreams, my son, are nothing more than messages from another realm. A realm that remains shrouded in mystery, revealing little about its intricacies. They can be a blessing for some and a curse for others."
Then he approached, placing his hand on Amin's shoulder and gave it a gentle pat before repeating,
"And a curse for others."
Amin responded, startled.
"But how did you know my purpose? And why did you choose me from among those crowds?"
The old man smiled and said,
"I will give you a question, and if you can answer it, you will be able to understand the whole matter. My son, how did you know that I would be here in this market specifically, and at this time in particular? And who informed you that your cure is with me?"
Amin squinted his eyes slightly, then shouted, looking bewildered and anxious.
I must have seen news about you on Facebook, or someone informed me about you. I'm not sure. Oh, someone informed you. Remember well, my son. Open your mind and think. Who is this person and where did he find you?
Amin opened his eyes slightly as if he had discovered something.
Wait a moment. I've seen your face before, and I've even spoken to you, Amin exclaimed.
The old man smiled, took a step back, and then Amin continued.
I think I saw you in my dream. It must have been a dream. Have you reached the answer now?
Amin remained puzzled, rubbing his forehead in bewilderment. How could he not remember despite having a history with dreams?
Come, my son, I will give you a chance to speak. Just talk, and I'll lend a listening ear to what you have to say.
Amin approached the chair opposite the old man.
It began 6 years ago. I started having some recurring dreams, and what was peculiar about them was that I would wake up inside the dream. At first, they were simple and brief, but over time, the dreams became longer. I would wake up inside the dream, fully aware that I was dreaming. The sensation was almost real. I could feel every part of me, and had absolute control over my actions within the dream. There was always a sign that indicated I was in a dream. If I noticed something strange or out of the ordinary, like seeing a different door in my house or a cat flying, at that moment, I would wake up within the dream and realized that I had awakened it inside it. Weeks passed, and I was in that state, experiencing it at least twice a week. However, I did something that I later regretted.
Amin sighed, then turned his face slightly towards one side of the tent, and after a moment he looked back at the old man and continued.
I decided to dig deeper into this phenomenon. I explored many websites on the internet and read numerous articles about it. Indeed, I found that there is a percentage of people in the world experiencing the same phenomenon known as lucid dreams. I spent hours delving into the topic until I came across an article titled, "How to Control Your Dreams." The article was specifically aimed at those who already experienced this phenomenon, and not the general public. It was a turning point in my life, a point of no return. I started following the simple steps outlined in that article. First, I had to remind myself every day, even every hour, that I am a person capable of waking up within my dream. Second, I had to constantly check if I was dreaming and ask myself whenever I did anything, is this a dream or reality? Third, I had to imagine something I wanted to dream about before sleeping and focus on it, especially the sensations it would generate. The steps were easy, and I faithfully followed them every day since then, consistently asking the question, is this a dream or reality? I didn't know it at that moment, but I was playing with my mind. However, I couldn't stop the success of that method. Over time, I could wake up within the dream whenever I wanted. I started thinking of something, and then I dreamt about it. There was always a question in my mind. If I don't know the sensation of something I haven't experienced in reality, will I feel its reality in the dream? Let's say I never ate a dragon fruit. If I dream about eating it, will I be able to taste its real flavor within the dream? Or is it just a taste my mind creates? I spent the first 3 years living inside my dreams. It was like a hobby for me, similar to someone playing the piano in their free time. But as time passed, I began to blur the lines between dreams and reality. Occasionally, I would lose myself in my thoughts, even on a day when I was sitting with my friend in his 7th-floor apartment. I went to the balcony to smoke a cigarette alone. The weather was spring-like, and tranquility filled the place outside. I lit the cigarette, and without thinking, I posed that question to myself. I tossed the cigarette from my hand and placed my foot on the edge of the balcony. I wanted to fly because I usually fly within my dreams. The air was refreshing, and the visibility was clear. I just wanted to relax and let the air carry me. I swayed, and then I heard a scream.
Amin!
I found myself sprawled on the balcony floor, with my friend Salim holding me.
What's happening, Amin? Are you trying to commit suicide?
Salim appeared very real. Wait, is this a dream or reality? This was the first major disturbance I experienced, and only then did I realize the seriousness of the situation I had put myself in. After that, doubt began to haunt me constantly. I hated that question and those affirmations, even though I heard them very clearly inside my head. I started to fight against it, but I couldn't. The confusion between dreams and reality increased to the point where I became delusional. I could no longer distinguish.
Amin lifted his shirt sleeve to reveal the scars along his arms, scars of varying sizes undoubtedly caused by a sharp object.
Look, Sheikh, this is the only means by which I can confirm whether I am in a dream or reality. In the past, when I woke up inside a dream, sometimes what made me wake up to reality was a blow, a fall, or a wound within the dream. So now when I feel I'm in a dream, I cut my hand with a knife. If it's a dream, I'll wake up. If it's reality, I'll wake up from that doubt. A young man like me, holding a master's degree in business administration, sitting at home without a job, torn between reality and dreams. I can't bear this life anymore. I want to break free from it. I want to live a normal life like other people, nothing more. I don't want to dream again, not even if I'm going to dream of paradise.
The sheikh lifted his head towards Amin and looked at him without displaying any features of compassion or sympathy on his face.
Son, you had a treasure, but you made a mistake in how you used it. In worlds like these, there is no emergency exit, and certainly no room for a comeback. It's just choices, What does this mean? What does he mean by worlds? Do you have a cure for this, O Sheikh, or not?
If you think, my son, that you will receive a material cure for a non-material illness, you are in the wrong place. However, if you want to rid yourself of what you're in, there are sacrifices you must make. Know that to rid yourself of the affliction in which you live, you must endure a greater affliction, like the bitterness of healing medicine. As for your formidable enemy, it is your fear. You have allowed doubt to seep into your mind, escalating your fear and causing you to lose control. People like you and me are destined to live between different worlds. Some can access the world of dreams, others know pathways to the underworld, and there are several other worlds that one cannot comprehend.
Do you mean that you are like me? Can you awaken within your dreams?
The sheikh laughed and said,
And do you think that the world of dreams is limited to awakening within the dream? Haven't you heard about those who communicate with the dead and spirits through dreams, receiving both glad tidings and warnings in the same manner? Everything known to humans in this visible world is just a drop from the other realms. I have only managed to access 5 different worlds.
5?
Amin said in astonishment.
But there are many more that I couldn't enter due to a lack of suitable sacrifices.
The sheikh changed his expression, walked to a large box in the corner of the tent, opened it, and pulled out a black cover embroidered with strange silver patterns, resembling an ancient language. In his other hand, he held a silver bracelet adorned with black stones, arranged in a pattern similar to the jewelry worn by the Tuareg people in the Algerian desert. He approached Amin and said,
علاوي حبيب قلبي أبو حسين أنا خادمكم الصغير أنت عندك نقص بشخصيتك